Thanks, Ian. We appreciate it. Let's welcome in now Christian Jones out of Omaha West Side, your high school Butkus Award winner. Christian, thanks for coming, and we appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks for having me on.
When you look at this team and look at John Bullock and all those guys leaving out of the middle, do you think, based off what you know about this program, that you can play right away?
I certainly think I could play right away, but I had to earn it. I don't think I'm entitled to anything. I don't think I will have an easy way to get there to that starting spot, but if I earn it, I feel like I could have a really good shot.
Where do you think you kind of fit in with this 3-3-5? You know, you're inside guy, a jack guy. What has the talk been with Coach Butler, Coach Rule, where you think you're going to step in and how you're going to fit in that 3-3-5 role?
Yeah, for sure. I don't think I'll be big enough to play that jack position, or at least I don't think I'm going to keep growing to be in that perfect ideal height and weight for that. But I believe I'll be in that inside position, that Mike Will position, probably more so what John was playing this year.
Christian, the recruiting process, go through that again. I mean, it had to be stressful. You went on a lot of visits, and how relentless was Nebraska to keep you in state? Yeah,
I would say they had the most effort out of everyone. Every school I've ever, been recruited by, they call me every day or text me every day, and yeah, it was a lot. That's for sure.
Talk a little bit about, because I talked to a lot of former Huskers who grew up in the Omaha area, and the competition between them and the other players in the area. You're looking at their stats. Do you do that? Do you kind of look and go, okay, how'd that guy do that I'm kind of competing against in terms of being the #1 recruit in the state?
Another, like metro area?
Yeah.
No, I wouldn't say I really get caught up in that, because I feel like when you read up a lot about yourself, you kind of get lost in that. You kind of just not a good way to look at it, because you just got to look above. You're not like down below. You just got to keep getting better.
Got it. Christian, I'm kind of so I grew up in Omaha. I went to Elkhorn, Nebraska kid through and through. Wanted to play Nebraska football my whole life, but when I was growing up, Nebraska was dominant. They're winning national championships, they're winning conference championships, they're in the top 10 every year. Obviously, with the recency kind of bias, Nebraska's not been in that situation. So when you're looking at Nebraska, and then let's be honest, they've struggled, right?
Yeah.
How'd that weigh? I know they put a ton of effort into there, but how's that weigh when a program struggled, but you want to stay home, be that hometown kid to kind of turn these things around? How's that their struggles kind of weighed on your decisions?
Yeah.
When you're kind of looking at the whole, outlook of the recruiting process.
Yeah, there's a lot to that, because me growing up, I've never seen a national championship or seen an Orange Bowl or Rose Bowl be won, and so that was kind of why it took so long to see what the best decision was, because I don't like losing. I don't like it at all. So I wanted to go to the best place where I could win and get developed. And then that's why I kind of pulled the trigger right after the Colorado game, is because I saw Coach Rule, he started building that culture up, and I saw them play differently. They had more of a killer mindset. And that's kind of was the selling point, was I saw Coach Rule really bring that out of them, and that's what I was looking for. And if I would say they don't win against that Colorado game, I think definitely be in a different place.
You'll play in 2 All-Star games, the All-American Bowl in San Antonio, and then the Polynesian Bowl in Honolulu. How excited are you for just the opportunity? I mean, going to Hawaii is one thing, but just to be with 4- and 5-star guys for 2 different settings in All-Star games.
Yeah, I mean, it's been a goal my whole high school career. And I think the best part about it is not, all the cool gear and stuff. I think it's just the elite mindsets, because those people you're going to meet, you're going to know them for the rest of your life, and they're going to be playing in the NFL, or someone's going to be a CEO somewhere. So I think just meeting all those dudes with those elite mindsets, I think that's kind of the best part about it, is not just playing in it, it's just meeting those hardcore dudes.
Christian Jones joining us from Omaha West Side. Let's talk about that trophy. I'm assuming you were on like a finalist list, so you knew you had a chance. Talk about when you found out you'd won. Yeah,
so on Monday, Matt Butkus came to my school in the morning. We had weights in the morning at 8 a.m. And so I see this he's a big dude, walking in. I was like, that guy looks familiar. And he starts getting closer. He's got a camera crew. And I see the number 51 for Dick Butkus. I was like, okay, I kind of have a feeling what's going on. And then start talking. He's like, hey, let's go outside. And a little less quiet because we were in the weight room. And I see this pedestal with a blanket over this. And I was like, oh, this is cool. And then, he uncovers it and shows me and gives it to me, and it was a very surreal moment, and just it's an honor to be named it.
Wow. What's it like having so many former teammates at Nebraska too? Caleb Benning, Tristan Albano, a guy that frequents up on the stage as well when your coach is Damon Benning, being a former player there. Their kind of influence on helping you making that decision to come to Nebraska.
Yeah, all of them never were like, hey, man, we need you to go here. We need you to do this. Like, all of them were like, hey, I want what is best for you. You know, I had friends like the Rezacs, they would Notre Dame. They're like, hey, we would love you here, but we want you to do what's best for you, and we will support you no matter what.
Yeah.
And all of them were in my corner. They weren't pushing me in one way or the other way. So that's what I'm really grateful for is they really just were like, hey, man, what's best for you is what we're going to support.
Now, what's next for you? Obviously, since you're in the All-Star games, you're not going to be able to come on the bowl trip because you're going to focus on the All-Star games. But when do you get to Nebraska? Kind of what's the schedule for you to be a Husker now?
Yeah, I mean, we're just going to get right into it. We got winter workouts and just going to attack it and just kind of, get used to that life. It's a job now. So I'm excited to get to work and write all my goals out and go attack them.
I want to go back to what you're talking about the Colorado game.
Yeah.
Because every player I talked about how exciting that night was. Can you describe what it felt like to be down there on the field and you got the drones and all that stuff?
Yeah, I was kind of just sitting there. I was like, this could be me in the next couple of years. And I just kind of really felt like I want to be a part of that. They win, obviously they win, and there's a lot of pressure in the game. And they really played up to what they needed to play to. I was like, okay, I can do this. Let's go.
Yeah, that pick six had to be the loudest moment.
Dude, that was probably the loudest I've ever seen Nebraska. Gave me goosebumps.
That's awesome. Christian, we appreciate it. Congratulations again on the
Thank
award.
you. I appreciate
and good
that.
luck going forward.
Yes, sir.
All right, Christian Jones joining us here. Let's talk about the rest of the folks off the ball. Another backer from Omaha, Millard North's Pierce Mooberry, who ended his career with 153 tackles, 13 and a half TFLs. What's he kind of bring, Sean, a little bit to what he can do in terms of transferring from, first being kind of a safety down into being a linebacker? He was a pretty good wide receiver and tight end as well.
Yeah, real similar to Christian, honestly, because Christian was a great receiver and tight end. But when you look at Mooberry, he reminds me a lot of Sean Fisher when he was at Millard North. Fred Petito in the previous regime always liked his best guy as that single high safety to kind of roam, and then as the coaching change happened, they moved him into the box as a second-level linebacker, and just his length, his upside. Pierce is one of the more intriguing prospects in the state, I think, because he's got so much upside to keep growing and developing.
Same side as Luke Gifford come out of high school, too. Let's get to Bryson Weber, defensive backfield. Weber's the sole corner in the class, Missouri City, Texas. Good area, a lot of talent in that area. Talk about him and what he brings to the cornerback position. Doesn't give up catches, I know that.
And it was a challenge to hold on to him because Evan Cooper initially landed him, and then he left the program. And John Butler was able to kind of step in and lock that one up once he took over as the secondary coach. But TCU was the other major player there. You love the length. I mean, when you see 6'2 and a half as a corner, that gives you a lot of advantages.
He only gave up one catch over the last 2 years, which is crazy to think about it. Pierre Desir is kind of my comp. He played for the Browns. Very similar type of guy. A lot of length in the arms, too. Last but not least, let's get to Caden Vermas joining us here on the set. Of course, how are you doing? Thanks for coming on and spending some time with us.
I'm doing phenomenal. Appreciate you for having me out here.
Millard North has always been such a legendary program, but you had a chance to go through really a changing of the guard. Can you talk about how that was for you guys going from, of course, legendary Fred Petito to what you guys ended up becoming?
It was definitely a lot different, obviously, because you go from the wing bone, right, to like spread offense and everything. We went from a single high, man up on defense every play, kind of like a cover one, cover zero type thing, to a kind of more a cover two, cover four look every time. And then we also implemented a 3-3-5 in there. So we had to kind of spend a decent amount of the offseason like helping kids figure out what zones to be in, because none of our kids really knew what to do. The only way we knew that was because like playing Madden. Like that's how only of us usually did it. So that was definitely cool. But Coach Burrell, he implemented a lot of more explosive workouts, a lot more speed training, because he was a track guy. And then he actually wanted me to go out and do track, so I decided to go out and do that. And we had a few football players go out and do track, because previously we never really had a lot of guys do track. And so that was definitely a lot of fun, and we got after it. So,
Kate, when I first walked in the studio tonight, I met you first time. I'm like, okay, I knew he's playing safety. I'm like, this is Isaac Gifford right here.
Yeah.
So, have you gotten that a lot? Is that kind of where they are projecting you to kind of similar role of how Isaac played within this defense as well?
Yeah. So so Coach White before talked about Rover, and then obviously Coach Butler, Coach Rowley all talked about Rover. I told them I can play anywhere they want me to. I could even punt return if they need me to, or kick return, but. Rover's definitely the spot they're looking at on defense. They said they're trying to keep me at my same weight and then maybe bulk me up a little bit when I get here, just to kind of stay in that area and stay fast, because they want me to obviously be able to cover and stuff like that. So that's kind of where they see me at, because they don't really see me as like a deep high safety kind of thing. They want me more in the box to fill runs and stuff like that. So.
Caden, you committed really in the spring of your junior year.
First, right? First one.
And you were the first guy. Yeah, I mean, you committed before Matt Rule even coached a game. I mean, just to stick with this staff that long, I mean, what did you see in Matt Rule and what they were doing to obviously jump on that opportunity immediately in spring of your junior year?
So I had a lot of belief in Coach Rule because the whole staff was NFL guys. And I said, this is the staff that can get you to the NFL. I mean, obviously, you talked about other schools recruiting me. Like, obviously, you have the Iowas, right? And they have Phil Parker, who's got all those guys in the NFL, right? And I said, well, I was like, can I see that? But I was like, I bleed red. I told everybody that. And I was like, I can't leave here. So I sat down with my parents. I said, I know it'd be early, but I said, this would be a good idea. I said, let's just commit right now. I said, I believe in what they're doing. I said, everything they're telling me. My first interaction was with Coach Rule. I literally hadn't met the guy once. He sat down with me for 20 minutes, talked with my family and I. So that was definitely a cool moment. Meeting the whole staff and everything like that, new recruits, like, it definitely felt like it was right. And I was like, even if I'm first or the last commit, I said, honestly, like, no matter what, this is where I'll end up playing. So I was like, why not just be the first guy? So, yeah.
Caden Ramas joining us from Mill North. My comp for you, you're a little bit taller, but Jim Leonard, you are a ball hawk. I know you think you can intercept a lot of balls because I've seen you on offense.
Sorry.
What's your feel in terms of the transition? How long you think it'll take to where you can get on the field and play?
Honestly, like I've talked about, I've asked Coach Burrow, I said, what do you think the fastest way on? He said special teams.
Special teams. Yeah.
And so definitely they'll look at that first. And then, I don't know, I'm going to try and get on the field as fast as I possibly can. But that's all up to them at the end of the day. But I'm going to do everything I can. I'll work as hard as I can, try to be the hardest worker in the room, obviously, and just learn everything I can throughout the whole system.
Yeah, Caden, obviously you played both ways in high school. Now just having that mentality about you just got to focus on one side of the ball.
Sure.
How much are you looking forward to just now worrying about that defensive side and really deep diving into the fine intricacies of everything and what offense you're trying to do to you and try to be your best player within that 3-3-5 defense?
It'll definitely be a lot better because obviously it takes your mindset to just focus on just one sort of thing of assignments. Like high school is like, all right, I got to know, like obviously I was kick return, so I was like, I got to know kick coverage. Yeah. And then I was like, okay, defense, I got to know what zone I'm in, blah, blah, blah. And then offense, I could be like, all right, now I got to know run an angle route. It's like, you're all over the place and stuff like that. But you obviously remember over time because you practice it. But just doing defense will be a blessing because I'm like, I can focus on one thing in the offseason because offseason I was kind of focusing on a lot of things, and now I can just solely focus on one thing. And then the biggest thing, I keep it real with everyone, like the cardio will be a lot better because I'm like going both sides. I was like, it's just hard. Like our Pap South game, I go 99 yards on a touchdown, and then 2 plays later I'm back in on defense, and then when we get a stop and I got to go back on punt return, I'm just like, dude, I was like, I'm tired, but it was cool. But I'm excited and it'll be a lot of fun. So yeah.
Now, what is the move-in day again for the early enrollee for you guys?
Are you talking about when we move in or the bowl game?
Are you going to the bowl, right?
Yeah, so bowl game, trying to figure out finals right now at school. So it's either the 18th or 21st. And then the real move-in date was like January 11th because we have a team meeting the 12th. So.
But you're going to be a part of the bowl trip. How exciting. Do you guys still go on the trip? Is that the plan?
Yeah, we'll go on the trip. I mentioned this to you guys, but I talked to my parents. I don't know if they'll be able to make it, so I said it'll be like Home Alone. Too.
Yeah,
we just lost in New York, so that'd be a lot of fun. But yeah,
that hotel's right down in Midtown. So, how old do you think you'll have to be when you can start outlifting your dad?
Never.
Depends. If we're squatting, probably right now I can.
Oh, okay.
Because he hasn't squatted in a while because he's obviously getting the old man syndrome where it's a back issue.
And knees, yeah.
Hey, I'm right here too.
Yeah.
But there's
on the bench.
His bench. I don't know. He says max ever was like 410.
Whoa.
So I'll have to. But right now, I think he's like 3 plates, something like that.
He's lean.
Yeah,
well, he's a power lifter.
Yeah, I'd say probably next fall, hopefully. Because honestly, I'm going to try and bulk up a little bit.
You got to be able to move still.
Yeah,
you don't want to get
that's
too
the
big.
plan.
But you always talk about recruiting. They want to see your parents, right? They want to see your dad.
Yeah.
His dad walks in like, okay, sign him.
It's always funny, too, because there's some Twitter comments I see where it's like me and my dad, and then everyone's like, does your dad still have a little bit of eligibility left? I'm like, yeah, we'll offer him right now. Yeah. So, yeah.
That's awesome. And the feeling of this class you're in. I know you guys, this 2025 class, really tight already. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, so we have a group chat, everything we talk all the time. I'm close to every guy in the group. Obviously, I grew up with Pierce, so that was my biggest home run, I feel like, with all the guys that I try to get in the class, especially. Because for the longest time, it was just me, Connor, and Tyson. Then we had CJ Simon, and he decommitted. So it was hard because we were trying to get kids left and right. But the spring evaluation period last year, I think, is when we started to ramp up a little bit. So that was definitely a good feeling when that happened. But yeah, we're all super tight. We're excited to get here too. Like, that's the biggest thing. We want to change the culture and like bring in like a winning mindset and stuff like that, because we want to win those one possession games and stuff like that everybody talks about. So that'll be a lot of fun too, and I'm excited to move in with all the boys. So yeah.
Nice. I'm always curious when you have these group chats and you have maybe other guys who are thinking about coming. They let you in to know, like, hey, I'm going to commit. I'm silent right now, but don't let the air out of the bag here. What are those conversations like?
So that's actually funny you say that, because most of our tweets where it's like, I've posted a video of Tyreek Hill doing a flip the other day. That was for Cortez Mills, and then like everyone, it's kind of funny. Christian actually said it. He said, we have the ability to troll the whole state of Nebraska if we want to with Twitter. So, yeah, it's kind of funny. But, yeah, we add kids to the group chat, and they basically tell us, like, hey, let's keep it silent. We're like, all right, cool. And obviously, we respect it, too, because we all went through our processes and stuff like that. So we just kind of are like, all right, let's keep on down low. So, yeah.
I have a concern with two teenage boys. I'm always worried about their mental health. You mentioned social media.
Yeah. How
do you balance that? Because it's now a part of your NIL or ability to make money. At the same time, people can be a little toxic.
Yeah, I mean, that's, like I've always told people, you're going to hear everything. Like, especially if you're somewhat successful, like I'd say, like most of the athletes are, obviously you're going to hear stuff. But the only thing you can do is just put it aside and say, you know what, I know who I am. And then you can just move forward day by day, work as hard as you do.